So I have a question being mentioned in the chat box. Good morning, all. I have a question which is being mentioned on the chat box. Please go through the question and solve the numerical base. 100 cubic meter of unexcavated soil, common earth, is required to be hauled. Okay. First question is, what will be its volume? What will its volume be when it has been excavated and is ready for hauling? Then what will be its volume if it's being compacted? So you need to understand this, you need to remember this. The conversion factors, it's also called as a swell factor. Okay. Bank volume is in natural condition. It's a natural volume. And as far as in the given numerical, it is common earth. Okay. Then once after excavation, loose volume is, it is after excavation, then the volume is going to increase by 1.25 times. Okay. So now you are excavating 100 cubic meter of the soil. Okay. For the answer for the first question will be, it will be 100 into 1.25. What will be its volume when it has to be excavated? Okay. When it has to be excavated and is ready for hauling. So this process is called as excavating. This process is called as hauling. Hauling is transporting the material. Okay. So while transporting the material, your volume increases by 1. After excavation, the volume of the common earth increases by 1.25 times. So it becomes 125. Answer for the first question is 125. And similarly, answer for the second question will be, it's 100 multiplied by 0.9. So 90. What will happen to the soil if it is being compacted? So after compaction, your volume reduces. So it doesn't swell here, it shrinks. Okay, it shrinks by 90% of the initial volume. So that is 0.9. So answer happens to be 90 cubic meter. So answer for the second is, what will be its volume if it is compacted? Then the volume after compaction will be 90 cubic meter. Okay. Now can you solve a numerical on clay? Or else we will take it as a rock. You are going for tunnel. Okay. You are going for a tunneling work. So there is a rock which needs to be removed, mucked up, placed somewhere. So if it is 100, if I need to move, let me tell, like, I don't give you a volume directly. I'll just say cross-sectional area of tunnel is 10 meters square. Cross-sectional area of tunnel is 10 meters square. Okay. Then the length of the tunnel to be excavated is 10 meter. Okay. Then what will be the loose volume and what will be the compacted volume of that particular rock? So in that case, what you need to do, first you need to calculate the volume, that is cross-sectional area into length. So 10 into 10 meters, so that becomes 100 cubic meter again. Okay, then loose volume will be 100 into 1.5, that is 150 cubic meter, and compacted volume will be 100 into 1.3, so that happens to be 130 cubic meters. So you need to understand for different types of the soil, your swelling factor in loose condition and in compacted condition, it is going to vary. Okay, that is why I gave you this numerical. So let me go with another numerical on dosers. Okay, we will go with a numerical on dosers. So after this, so take down the second numerical. Determine the output of a bulldozer. Determine the output of a bulldozer having. Determine the output of a bulldozer having 215 HP engine. 215 HP engine. I'll repeat, determine the output of a bulldozer having 215 HP engine, comma, fitted with A type blade, fitted with A type blade, fitted with A type blade, with rated capacity of, with rated capacity of 4.4 cubic meters. 4.4, sorry, it's cubic meter. I have typed it as centimeter cube. Please make a correction. It's cubic meter. Full stop. The dozer is employed. The dozer is employed for excavating. The dozer is employed for excavating a hard clayey area. Hard clayey area. Hard clayey area with average haulage of, with average haulage of 50 meter, with average haulage of 50 meter on a ground with down slope of, on a ground with down slope of 10%. On a ground with a down slope of 10%. The dozer is employed. The dozer is employed for excavating a hard clay area with average haulage of 50 meters on a ground with a downslope of 10%. On a ground with a downslope of 10%. It has direct drive transmission. Next sentence. It has direct drive transmission, comma, and and its expected performance is and its expected performance is 50 minutes per hour, and its expected performance is 50 minutes per hour. Okay, so read the numerical. Try to understand the given data. I'll repeat the numerical. Determine the output of a bulldozer having 215 HP engine fitted with A-type blade with rated capacity of 4.4 cubic meter. The dozer is employed for excavating a hard clayey area with average haulage of 50 meters on a ground with a downslope of 10%. It has direct drive transmission and its expected performance is 50 minutes per hour. So you're supposed to calculate the output of a bulldozer. So you go with this. First, output is its ideal output into correction factor into performance factor. Okay, this performance factor I want to call it as performance efficiency factor. Performance factor, I want to call it as performance efficiency factor here. I'm just modifying this expression. Okay, this means, this performance efficiency means, see, generally we calculate output per hour. As far as construction equipment is considered, we always try to calculate the output in per hour. Okay. Now, when it comes to performance efficiency factor, the meaning of this is for how many minutes the machine is working within given 1 hour. Say if it is working for 50 minutes, as in the numerical, your bulldozer is performing 50 minutes per hour. So your performance efficiency becomes 50 divided by 60 here. Okay, because it is working for 50 minutes in 1 hour. So that becomes 50 divided by 60. Now, we should remember this. Okay, if you have not noted down, please note down this table once again. You need not take it in yards. In yards it is being given, so please don't take it. Only in cubic meter and this haulage distance, this you need to take. Can anyone tell me now, what is your ideal output in 1 hour? So what I'm supposed to look at is my capacity of the engine. My engine is 215 HP. My engine is 215 HP, which falls in the range of 180 to 250. It falls in the range of 180 to 250. Okay, and I need to look at the dosing distance or the haulage distance. Okay, it is mentioned that the haulage distance covered is 50 meters. So with this capacity of engine for a dosing distance of 50 meters, my ideal output becomes 160. Okay, my ideal output becomes 160. LCM. Please remember this is in LCM. LCM means loose compacted volume. Loose compacted cubic meter. Loose cubic meter. LCM stands for loose cubic meter here. We'll go to solution part here. Solution part. First, I will mention ideal output. Okay, first we will mention ideal output. Before that, we'll start with the equation only. We'll start with the equation, that is my output for our this is equals to ideal output per hour. This is equals to ideal output per hour using less. Ideal output per hour into correction factor multiplied by performance factor. Okay, so first what I need to understand is, I need to get this. I'll just write this expression as I into PS into PS. Ideal output into correction factor into performance factor. So for ideal output, I need to look at the I need to look at that particular table. You need to remember this generally. Okay. So for your given engine capacity, that is 215, here for 215 with a haulage distance of 50 meters, your ideal output becomes 160 cubic meter. In the numerical here, I is equals to 160 LCM. Okay, how did I get this? This is for 215 HP engine, with haulage of 50 meters. With haulage of 50 meters. So that is your ideal output. Next, we need to, again, before the table, you just look at what is being given. Ideal output, we are going to assume the dosing speed as 3 km per hour, return speed as 6 km per hour, and maneuvering time is 0.15 minutes. That's fine. That is not required. That is required only when we try to calculate the cycle time. Okay. Now here, look at this. Straight blade capacity. It means they are using S type of a blade. For ideal output, generally, ideal output of a dozer is always given for S blade, straight blade. For the rest other blades, we need to apply the correction. So we'll just try to understand what the corrections are. First is blade factor. Okay, so we will just try to make a list of now correction factors. Correction factors. So what all correction factors we may have to apply here is first one, blade factor Next one, blade factor for any type. Which type of blade is used here? Which type of blade is being used in the numerical?
Angle blade.
Right? A type blade is being used. So, what is the blade factor now? What value I am supposed to use?
0.75.
0.75. So, for A blade, the blade factor is 0.75. Okay. Next, transmission factor. Transmission factor for direct drive. Okay. Next, just look at the slide there. In the slide, we have a transmission system. So if this is not, there is no mention of transmission system or anything, you should take this as 0.8. Therefore, your second correction factor is transmission factor for direct drive type of engine is 0.8. Transmission factor is 0.8. Next, grade factor. So read the numerical. Are we going in a downhill direction or an uphill direction?
Downhill.
So we are moving in a downhill direction. When we are moving in a downhill direction, my output is going to increase or decrease?
Increase.
It is going to increase. Okay. So we'll go with the grade factor now. Grade factor for the given numerical. So what we have to do then? Just read that is being mentioned in the slide. Okay. For downhill working condition, we have to increase the factor by 2.5 times into percentage of the grade. Okay. If it is level ground, my factor is 1. Please try to understand. If it is downhill, my factor is going to increase because my capacity is going to increase because I am moving faster. In the reverse way, if I'm moving in uphill direction, then my speed becomes slower. Then I have to decrease when the speed decreases, my capacity is also going to decrease. So in that case, I'm supposed to decrease. But here, I have to increase it. So this will be equals to, okay, we need to increase it by 2.5% times of my grade. That is 10% slope I have. I have 10% slope. So if you simplify this, this becomes 1.25. Okay. In bracket, you can mention as assistance. It is assisting your increase in the capacity. It is assisting. So that's why capacity is 1.25. Next, what is the factor? Yes. Next, which factor you are supposed to apply? Soil factor. What type of soil is there in the numerical? What type of soil? Yes, it is clay. So look at the soil factor. If it is clay, what is the digging effort required? We require hard dig. Then what is the soil factor?
0.67.
Okay, so soil factor is 0.67. Soil factor is 0.67. Okay. Next, the last one is swell factor. Last one is swell factor. After excavation, your volume of soil is also changing. So what will be the swell factor for this particular soil? Look at this. For clay, your loose volume is yes. What is the swell factor?
1.27.
1.27. Okay, 1.27. I'll mention it here. Therefore, your total correction factor is equals to your total correction factor, that is equals to 6.75 multiplied by 0.8 multiplied by 1.25 multiplied by 0.67 multiplied by 1.27. So this is your total correction factor CF. So what is CF equals to?
0.638.
0.638. Okay? 0.638 is your total correction factor. Next, second one. My second correction factor is performance efficiency factor. Performance efficiency factor that I want to call it as PF, that is equals to 50 minutes working, 50 minutes divided by 60 minutes. Okay, if you read the numerator, the machine is working for 50 minutes in 1 hour. So that is your performance efficiency factor. Point
3.
0.83. So 0.83 is your performance factor. Now remember, whether it is a correction factor or performance factor, they don't have limits. They are limitless. Okay? So therefore, your output per hour is equals to ideal output into correction factor into performance factor. Your ideal output of 160 multiplied by correction factor is 0.68 multiplied by performance factor is 0.83. So whatever is that, yes, 80, 84 point
72. 84.72.
at least mention the network. Please mention the network. Nobody wants to mention the answer? No. Please follow the message. Okay? How do you expect focus on weekend? Yeah? What do you expect focus on Monday? What do you expect to take the class on time? If nobody is ready to give the answer, if this is the condition, what do you expect from my side? Don't expect from my side. Don't expect anything from my side. Please give a notification. Okay? So like this, different conditions will be getting numerical. Okay? You may have to interpret the data. You should remember these tables. Only thing what will be given in the numerical is maybe we will give you ideal output. In numerical, you need not remember the ideal output. We will give the ideal output, but rest other factors you have to remember and you have to solve it. Okay, so next we will go to excavators. Okay, excavators are the machines where they are being used to excavate the soil. Then it's not just about only excavation. With the help of these excavators, even the excavated soil is being dumped into the dumper there. Okay, on a dumper or wherever the location it's being identified. If it is nearer to excavator, then we use the same instrument to dump the soil. If we are supposed to dump the soil far away, then we have to use the dumpers. Okay, so there are different classifications of the excavators. Now these are the important parts of this excavators. This is a bucket. Okay, this is a ground engaging tool. We also call this as teeth. Okay, of course this is a hydraulically operated machine here. There is a cabin engine. Within the cabin, we'll have a main control valve. Okay, this particular part is its boom, and this is stick. They are being jointed together, and they work on hydraulics. So the different categories of these excavators are face shovels, backhoes, drag lines, and then clamshells. Face shovels, backhoes. I have generally shown you the backhoe picture. Okay, drag lines and clamshells. I'll tell you. So these four are important types of the excavators which can be adopted on the field: face shovel, backhoes, and drag lines, and then the clamshells. Yes, this is a face shovel. This is a face shovel. Now try to understand. Try to differentiate between a backhoe and then the face shovel. Okay, in a backhoe, your bucket is facing towards the cabin, whereas in a face shovel, your bucket will be facing opposite to the cabin. This is a backhoe. This is a backhoe, and bucket is facing towards the cabin. Whereas in face shovel, it's opposite. Okay, bucket will be facing opposite of the cabin. So backhoe type, it is faced towards the cabin. Shovel type, it is faced away from the cabin. And these machines can be used for cutting the soil for a height of 6 to 12 meter, and the bucket capacity may range from 0.38 to 3.25 cubic meter. This is the normal range what I have mentioned, or otherwise in some cases companies they are going to order for particular equipment for that particular project where bucket capacity may be still larger than this. Okay, backhoe type, again bucket capacity ranges from 0.38 to 3.25 cubic meter, and the digging depth 5 meter to 10 meter. Now try to understand the difference between a backhoe and the face shovel. When it is face shovel, as in the previous sketch here, okay, it is going to cut the soil which is above the level of the ground. So I'm calling it as a cutting height. When it comes to backhoe, I'm calling this as digging depth. Okay, so anything which is at a lower elevation than the equipment, we use a backhoe. Anything if we want to cut which is above the this particular equipment, then we may have to use a face shovel. These are drag lines. Okay, these are called as drag lines and generally used for loose soils in a marshy condition or in an underwater area. Okay, they are being generally used in a loose soil conditions, and most of the drag lines, they work on this hoist type of arrangement, hoist and jig type of arrangement. Okay, so we will use only cables here. Most of them, they work with the cables here. The bucket is being fixed through some cable arrangement and it is being dragged towards the cabin. Okay, that's why it's a drag line. Cables are lines and the bucket is being dragged towards the cabin through the help of these cables. So the name is drag line. Okay, it's always rope operated, boom fitted crane type machine. Again, bucket capacity will vary in the range of 0.38 to 3.06 cubic meter. This is how the bucket looks like. Okay, as I told you, it's not like we'll have a capacity of only around 3 cubic meter or so. Okay, look at this. Look at the size of a bucket which is being used for a drag line. Okay, that's how huge it is. We may have to manufacture such a large bucket for few projects if it is required. Okay, this is a bucket, and imagine the rope arrangement, which is imagine these arrangements for this particular bucket to operate. Okay, so huge is the machine is. This is another example of a drag line which is so huge, which are being adopted. These are not animated photos. These are the real photos which were used in construction projects. That's how huge they are. This is a clamshell. Okay, clamshell, it's similar to dragline. Only thing is it is being operated under the water, and the main purpose is for desilting or excavating the soil which is under the water. Okay, it almost looks like a shell, a clamshell actually. Okay, and it's being taken out. The soil is being taken out through the clamshell here. Basically, they are used for excavation under the water. These are a few other examples. Not necessary that when I have categorized as only 4, only those are available. We can still modify the existing equipment so that they are suitable to the on-site conditions. So these are our types of excavators or backhoes. This one is we can go for the crawler mounted, of course. Okay, we can make the particular equipment to stand on the trucks, so truck mounted. This is a barge mounted. This is a barge mounted backhoe. The same equipment. It's a crawler mounted backhoe which is being kept on a barge. That's it. Okay, this is rail mounted. May be used helpful while in the tunnel operations or in mining operations. Okay, now these are the attachments available to your backhoes. This is a face shovel. This is also a face shovel. Okay, and at the back we have a backhoe. So we can go with both backhoe and face shovel together. Okay. Now this is another type of a machine which is called as bucket wheel excavator. Buckets are being fixed to the wheel here. Look at, just try to understand the dimension of this particular equipment. look at this bottom of this photo. We have some tractor engines here. These are the tractor engines. We approximately know how large they are. When compared to this, look at this equipment. So huge it is. And it is being crawler, it's standing on the crawler. So it's a crawler mounted bucket wheel excavator. This keeps on rotate, this machine, it rotates the buckets. Buckets are being fixed with sharp teeth there. So it's going to excavate the soil. Now, how to plan our output data, how to understand, like how to calculate the output data of these excavators are, again, the same formula, planned output is equals to ideal output into correction factor into performance factor. Planned output is equals to ideal output into correction factor into performance factor. Now, just try to understand this. Take a screenshot of this particular slides because they are useful while solving the numerical. Please answer your attendance, Shoaib. Absent. Puneet. Puneet. Absent. Shivakumar.
Yes, sir.
Abhishek. Absent. Akbar.
Yes, sir.
Absent. Akshay. Arpita.
Yes, sir.
Akshay Dodmani. Bhagya.
Yes, sir.
Anjita.
Present, sir.
Dheeraj. Harshad. Harshita.
Present, sir.
Jai Ganesh.
Present, sir.
Karthik.
Present, sir.
Mahalakshmi. Sohil.
Present, sir.
Meghana.
Present, sir.
Niranjan.
Present, sir.
Pavitra.
Present, sir.
Pooja.
Present,
Pooja Hiremat.
sir. Present, sir.
Prasanna.
Present, sir.
Preeti.
Yes, sir.
Rahul.
Present, sir.
Rohit.
Yes, sir.
Sachin,
Present, sir.
Sagar, Saif,
Yes, sir.
Sharan Basu,
Present, sir.
Sharan Basungauda.
Present, sir.
Okay, Sharan Basu next. 033 presenter, 034 presenter, USN.
033 present, sir.
034 Shivaji, Siddharth,
Present, sir.
Saundarya,
Present, sir.
Subhash, Sunil, Sushmita,
Present, sir. Present,
Swat,
sir.
Swati,
Present, sir.
Venkatesh, Tushar,
Present, sir.
Uday,
Present, sir.
Ummi Saleha,
Present, sir.
Vijay Kumar,
Yes, sir.
Vishal, Vishwanath,
Yes, sir.
Jayashree,
Present, sir.
Joel, absent, Dhanraj, Fairuz, Furqan, Harish,
Present, sir.
Kavya, Mahesh,
Yes, sir.
Nikhil,
Yes, sir.
Prasanna, Rajat,
Yes, sir.
Sadiq, Satish,
Yes, sir.
Shivprasad,
Present, sir.
Shreyas,
Present, sir.
Shyam, Sushant,
Yes, sir.
Vijay Mahantesh, Vinayak Gowda,
Present, sir.
Vishal.
Present, sir.
ಅಲ್ಲೋ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಿ ಏನಾರ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ if you are like already decided if you don't want to talk fine okay and I don't ask anything with you people okay you can leave the class